What's up, everybody? It's Dylan and my co-host Alexa, and this is the Lego Chronicles podcast. Today, we've got a really cool build for the 4th of July. We're going to be doing some American Muscle. We're going to leave the dragster for another episode, but today we'll be hitting this Challenger pretty hard. This is the Mopar Dodge SRT Top Fuel Dragster and 1970 Dodge Challenger TA with the 340 engine, I'm pretty sure, and it's 627 pieces. The set number is 76904. We got these on sale a few weeks ago, and it was 20% off on Amazon. This set is supposed to retire this year, so it was great to get a few for investments, and we did. And one, of course, to build, because I can never invest and not build. What do you think?
I really love the purple a lot. I would drive this car. The stickers got stuck to the manual.
Oh, no.
I know. That's not good.
Wow. That's a first.
Right?
I wonder if I can recover it. That's crazy. Oh, look at me.
Oh, my God. You're doing it.
Oh, shit. I got it. So close.
Okay,
Wow.
perfect.
Saved it. All right. That's cool.
So just put it like right there.
Yeah. Well, what a first.
That is so
I don't know
not
if it's
okay.
going to stick. Look, it won't stick.
What?
It's not sticking. That sucks.
Well, it might when you put on the plastic.
You know what, though? I can just...
You can fix it, babe.
Yep.
We'll worry about it later.
All right. So...
But yeah, I love this car.
Pulled that sticker off of the manual. Right. That was the first. So yeah. Let's get to it.
I love this car. This car is very cool. I like bright colors on muscle cars, like lime green and orange.
They didn't do them quite like they redo these colors, but man, back then they popped. They had the lime green, the Hemi orange. And then Mopar was hitting it hard with all these really bright colors.
Right.
I think they're the only ones that really did that.
I test drove a lime green Challenger. I was like looking to get rid of my Mustang and buy a Challenger, but I was like, maybe it's not smart right now.
You should have. It would have been a good idea.
Yeah, but I would have gotten rid of it anyways because can't put a car seat in the back of a Challenger.
Speaking of car seats, look, purple pieces, purple
right.
Thing. We just had our baby shower.
Yeah, we did.
Talk about that. That was fun to watch.
It was fun. Yeah. Everyone saw how I can really be a child. I love opening gifts.
Made a floor out of wrapping paper.
It was driving Dylan crazy.
Not just me. You started getting comments in your Zoom. It was hilarious.
So my baby shower was virtually, because I know people from like all over the country, and no one is in Oregon except for my friend that lives down the street from me. Right. And people were like getting anxiety watching me open gifts on the virtual baby shower, which I didn't understand because why? Why does that give people anxiety? Like I have anxiety and that does not give me anxiety.
That's why you're such a unusual person. Because
like things that give me anxiety, most people would not consider anxiety driven, and then what doesn't give me anxiety, it gives other people anxiety.
Yeah, you're like the vacuum's in the living room. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. And normal people are like, yeah, that's no big deal. But you see a floor covered, an entire apartment floor in wrapping paper, and like throwing the manuals in the floor, throwing thank you cards, receipts. We're like, oh my god! I did not.
I hand all the thank you cards and the receipts to your grandma.
I saved a few.
Okay,
from the floor. I think it was like one of those, and then you threw the manual, like the instruction manual, away to the baby wrap. I'm like, we don't know how to use the thing and twist it up. Like, I need to know what that says.
Oh my God.
And I mentioned it, and you're all, oh, yeah. And you just kept on ripping apart. Oh, shit, my hat.
Because I wasn't really worried about it. You have the internet. You can always Google it, YouTube it. Like, if we lose it, who cares?
Fair enough. But I was being dad mode.
Yeah, you were. I was like, oh my God, everyone's freaking out, and I'm just having fun.
I just thought I didn't say anything. I just fixed it. But
No, you didn't. You just cleaned up and were like very hopeful.
I thought it was really funny that I thought it was hilarious how everybody on Zoom was like, there was a thread about it. They were like, oh my God.
I know.
Yeah. It was pretty wild.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad I'm a hot topic to talk about.
Of course. You just take over a room. That's what you do.
Yeah, I do.
That's how you got me.
Oh yeah. Is
Yep.
that how?
Well, apparently not. I didn't see you. You had to come find me.
Well,
I was oblivious, just tunnel vision at the gym.
Right. And all I see is like, oh, I ain't never seen this guy before. He's hot. He must be new.
Right?
And sure enough, you were.
Let me act like I like his dog.
I mean, now I like Renly, but yeah, back then we weren't the best friends.
Now you guys are like best buds.
I know. Isn't that weird?
I know.
Just a little
It is
dog
weird.
training.
Yeah. There's ways you have to talk to dogs.
Yeah, right. Can't talk to them like babies.
No. You're not children.
Man.
I need a piece. It's a little wrench.
A little wrench.
Yeah, for the guy. This.
Is this a wrench? I don't know what this is.
I do need that, but this guy, that wrench right there,
Oh.
should be in there.
There's another one of those things. I don't know what that
I
is.
think I only need one. It's supposed to be the shifter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
They'll probably give you an
that
extra
makes
one.
sense.
Yeah, see? Little shifter. Nothing in there,
Are
right?
you sure Lego didn't screw up again? Didn't put in the right bag?
No. That's okay. We'll find it. I've got more in it. Oh, it's right there.
There it is.
Yeah. That's how you were when you were opening presents.
I know.
It's so funny.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that's how you know why I like Legos. You're like, oh, I got it. I found it.
So we pretty much got everything we need for the baby except for the second car seat base, which my dad is getting us. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Because I really don't want to spend money on a car seat base.
Right.
Like, who wants to spend money on a
Not
car
bad that if that's the only thing we had to buy, though.
No, but
diapers.
like you said yesterday, you're selfish and I want to use my money on something else.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we don't have a lot of, like, now it's going to be all about her. So if we have anything we can do, let's go out on a date or something.
Yeah,
Have
right.
some fun. Get you some clothes.
Right.
You're going to need new clothes because you're going to be all no baby anymore. You're going to
Yeah, I
want
know,
new
right?
clothes to feel all new.
I know. I'm going to need new clothes to make myself feel hot again after being pregnant and huge.
How far along are you now?
Friday, I will be 36 weeks pregnant.
Oh, jeez. So in 2 weeks, you'll be clear of the threshold. So you'll be able to deliver, right? That'll be 37 weeks.
Well, they say, 37 weeks is officially full term.
That's in 2 weeks. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's exciting.
But they don't really like to have the babies come until he's 38.
Yeah, I just in my head, I'm like, all right, well, if anything, like, you don't want anything to happen. So after that, it's kind of like, all right, you can relax a little bit.
Yeah. After 37 weeks, technically, after 20 weeks, you're safe.
Really?
Like you're not going to lose the baby, because 19 weeks, you can still lose it, but 20 weeks, you're safe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just always, not always, but premature. That's why.
Oh, you mean like premature?
Yeah.
Oh,
so at
okay.
37 weeks, it's technically premature, but it's not. They don't consider that, right? After 35.
No, because it's full term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, then you can relax.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I would like her to come early, but
I know.
it's fine. If I have to dose it for a little longer, what am I going to do?
Nothing. Just
Yeah.
have the baby. That's all
I
you
know,
can
right?
do.
Yeah.
She'll be here. Felicity will be here as soon as she can.
Right. I'm done with these pregnancy hormones. No, thank you. I'm sure you're over it too.
You're doing fine.
Really? So you just
Yeah.
give me crap all the time?
It's okay.
What do you
hard.
mean it's okay?
It's like, I just know you're pregnant. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All I can do. Sometimes you get a little like unwound. You're like spinning out of control with your emotions. I'm like, hey, gotta reel it in. You're stressed over nothing.
Yeah. I guess.
Then you're like, oh yeah, I was. Sorry.
It doesn't feel like that when you're in the moment of it, though. And then you get out of the crazy hormones and you're like, oh, yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, it's weird to
I was a little psycho, sorry.
here, put that on the front right here. I think it goes that way, yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that's gonna be the engine, I'm guessing.
I
That's
don't know.
the back.
I never know anything until I see the full picture. Then I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it.
I like to guess.
Oh,
That's how I'm like, ooh, what's it gonna look like?
excuse me.
Here you go, put that on the other side.
Okay.
And then, so what is one of the cool, like, first of all, disclaimer, 4th of July is your favorite holiday, correct?
It is.
Okay, so
more
what?
than Christmas.
And your birthday. Is it more than your birthday? Because
Like
you're crazy about your birthday.
a tad more exciting than my birthday because everybody's celebrating.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, my birthday's a holiday.
So if you were born on the 4th of July, everybody celebrates your birthday. Mm-hmm. That's sick.
Right?
That would be sick.
They
Damn.
don't even know they're celebrating you.
I know, you're like, yeah, it's all about me today. That's kind of funny. So,
Right.
what's like the coolest thing 4th of July? Like, tell me some of your favorite 4th of July memories.
Okay, so like the whole reason why I love the 4th is because it's like always the one holiday where my mom is home and it's no stress because no one's worried about Christmas presents. And no one's worried
That
about
makes sense.
making the perfect dessert or the perfect this or the perfect that. And like making sure like the house is clean, the whole family's together, like all that stuff. It's like that comes with Christmas is so stressful. And like the 4th of July is the total opposite of that. People are more relaxed.
You're usually outside. It's warm.
Like we're having fun. No one's stressed. No one's growing right hairs. And it's
no super crazy family arguments.
yeah, it's like everyone is just like having a great time, like carefree and then enjoying being outside. And my mom was always like the most relaxed on the 4th of July. And you know my mom.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I just really like the holiday because of that, because like the whole like energy that the 4th of July brings. And it's like still family, like it's still a family holiday. Like we will still like, you know, like I said to you before, we would make like a dessert together.
That's cool.
That is patriotic. And that was always like my favorite part. And then going to like walking to the firework location, sitting down on a blanket on like fresh, like green grass. Like
Where'd they do fireworks at?
so growing up in Minnesota, we would go multiple places.
First of all, I should disclose that
Yes.
you made an amazing strawberry pie today.
Thank
It was
you.
really good from scratch. That crust was awesome. I'm thinking about it. And you said pies. I'm like, I want another slice.
Thank
As soon
you.
as this is over. Yeah, that's really cool. We didn't make desserts, so that was not for this holiday. That was a Christmas thing. So that's cool that you guys did that. 'Cause
For
was really
you, it
good.
wasn't a dessert holiday. It was.
No.
I mean, it's not just a dessert holiday for
At
like
least,
my
like,
upbringing,
one.
but it was like the most exciting part of the day,
Right.
making
Yeah.
it together.
I like that tradition.
Yeah.
We should definitely carry that forward.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to make the pie today because I never done it. I was like, oh, this is something I can do to start my own tradition with my family
Yeah, I love it.
instead of doing the pizza sugar cookie.
I just wanted to say that before we moved on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, continue. You're talking about some of your, like, where you guys would watch the fireworks.
Oh, yeah, like, just, like, growing up in Minnesota, my parents were together. We would go, like, to different locations, like, kind of, like, switch it up every year. But then when my parents separated, I would spend the 4th of July pretty much always with my mom. And then we would just walk up to, before I was even in high school, like, and after, and during, we would walk to the high school that was, like, right next to her house, which is the one I went to. And they have, like, it's, like, a huge high school, and they have, like, lots of grass.
So they did it there at
lots
the
of land.
football field?
They didn't do it at my high school, but that's, like, the best spot to see it.
So I've been to one where it was kind of like that, but they used the fairgrounds, and everybody had this big lawn, same kind of deal.
Yeah.
But like in Red Bluff, if we would go different places. I spent a lot of the time at the lake. That's what we did.
Right.
4th of July, we had a houseboat. Everybody, all of our friends had houseboats, and we were up there for like a week or two.
Right.
At least a week for the whole week, and usually the following. And my dad would take at least a week and a half off, and then.
And that's like a big deal for your dad.
yeah, especially back then. And then we would. If we were in Red Bluff, we would there'd be so many boats, and sometimes we took our ski boat to the water, and we'd watch from there. But we also had a friend that lived on the river, and so most of the time we'd have a barbecue there, and watch the fireworks from the river, and they'd do it upriver a little bit. Not quite sure where, but downtown, and it was just so many boats in the water. It was a great time, and everybody would fill the blocks afterwards and go light more fireworks. Yeah,
that sounds really fun.
Cool. I have a crazy fireworks story.
Really?
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Sure.
All right. So I hope my mom doesn't get mad about this.
Oh no!
I know. But it's not a big deal.
Her?
No, she was actually she was a hero.
She was? So why would she get mad then?
We were just doing dumb shit.
Oh, okay, fair.
She wouldn't get mad. Someone might. But so...
Well, let's hear it. Now I'm curious.
People that are unnamed we had fireworks, some giant mortars, like 200-foot mortars, and we shot so many off that one of the tubes fell in the water. And so we were like, shit. So we were like, all right, well, maybe this guy that we were at, he's like, I think I have a pipe in the house that'll fit that. He did, but it was like 6 feet long. So he had this 6-foot long aluminum pipe, and aluminum retains heat at a really high rate, and it holds the heat, and it gets hot fast. Right. And so what we had to do, my cousin, he has Coulter hold it, and Coulter's holding it. They light the fuses long, so they light it, but it gets stuck in there. The mortar fits, but it won't come out. He goes, oh shit, it's hot. Let's go. My mom sees the whole thing going on. And for some reason, we were doing it by the river, but we switched because he went to get the pipe from the garage. Everybody kind of mingles.
Should have stayed by the river.
Yeah. Everybody, yes, that's the first thing. Everybody mingled with him to the garage. So now we're all out front, and there's this lady with a newborn baby sitting right in front of the car.
No.
Yeah, sitting down. And he lets it go. It falls towards her.
Oh, my God.
And my mom sees this shit like the Matrix. It was like, looks at him, looks at her, jumps.
She jumps in front of it?
She's got the scar. Ask her about it. Yeah, ask her about it.
She saved the baby.
A mortar scar, like gunshot, essentially.
God.
Shot with a firework, a 200-foot mortar, like
Oh
crazy.
My God, I can't believe your mom did
6
that.
6 feet away, just dove, took her, put
it
her
was like
life
some
on.
dramatic movie shit.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. Yeah, I don't know why she get mad. It was a really cool story.
Yeah.
But fuck, that was cool.
That's way cooler than my story that I was about to tell you. I'm glad you went first.
Well, let's hear your story.
Well, you were there. Usually I just don't remember.
When was this?
It was like when we were like dating and we were at your dad's house for the 4th of July.
I don't remember.
And then I don't know what happened first, but somehow like a firework I don't know if it exploded, but like my shoulder like got burned from a firework.
Oh shit.
You don't remember that?
I remember the scar.
Yeah.
But
It was like a little traumatic, but not like that. That's a scary story.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh, like like I never had this experience before, like where fireworks is like touching my skin and like causing like a burn.
Right.
And then scar and everything. But yeah.
It's definitely one of those things like really dangerous.
Yeah, they are. They're really dangerous.
No required training. Anybody can buy them.
Right.
You know, it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to go get really illegal ones at the reservation.
No.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you got to be careful. There's another story. We had a bunch. We would go to the Indian reservation on our way home from Nevada. And we've just had this box for like 2 or 3 years. And we finally were like, the stuff we didn't really want anymore. And we give them to this houseboat across the cove, and they're probably 300 yards away or whatever. And we walk it over to them during the day. They get fucked up, wasted. Everybody did, but they got so drunk, they lit one of those off in the house.
Oh my God.
And we're over here partying on our boat, and all of a sudden, boom.
The whole house exploded.
You hear it, and then you see the like firework goes off inside and it just lights up like a Christmas tree and just.
Did it ruin the house?
I thought I was gonna burn it down.
Oh my God!
No, this is a boat. This is a boat, houseboat, and they're like in the middle.
Still, did it burn it down?
No, but like if they had, they wouldn't have been able to get off. They didn't have a ski boat.
Oh,
I mean, we
shit.
could have helped, but damn, these people are dumb.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa. All right, you got to really be careful.
There's a limit of how drunk you should be.
Yeah. And, like, don't play with firearms, essentially.
That's what fireworks are.
Yeah, when you're that drunk, you just lighten.
Yeah, when you're drunk,
crazy.
I honestly...
Those are my 2 craziest fireworks stories.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I would definitely say this 4th of July was like, fun. We're probably not going to be able to see fireworks, but that's okay.
I think we definitely can see them. We just, if we go, it's going to be so late. We got to work early. But we can definitely step out, probably see them from the patio or at the fence.
Yeah.
Because we're up here on this ridge. We'll see them. For sure.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, well, if we don't, but hopefully we do, because that would be awesome if we do. But if we don't, this was still like a better 4th of July than yesterday. Yesterday. Wow. Last year. Remember last year?
What did we do last year?
Oh God, I was still like a very high maintenance woman from Florida. Remember? And like I had my white dress on that I ordered from Free People.
We had to, like, do pictures.
And I was like, I need a cute picture.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, this is the 4th of July. We don't take pictures. Blah.
Just enjoy it. Yeah.
And I was like, no, I need it for Instagram. And then, and you're like,
I do remember that.
I can laugh about it now though, because it's like, I was like so mad you didn't take my picture, and like you're like, we're in a rural area, people out here don't care about that stuff. I'm like, well, I do, my friends do, like.
And now I can't even remember the last time I guess a few pictures for the baby and stuff, like when we went out for your birthday. But yeah, it used to be like anywhere you're like, we need to take a picture of it. Like, can we just like enjoy the moment? Now I have to work. Now you're gonna be like, not that one. Try again. I'm not on the clock. I'm not on the clock here.
He's not a paid photographer.
No.
And it's so funny. And I was like so mad. Even after I took my own photos and I liked my photos that I took myself, I was still so mad because you didn't do it. Because I really have trouble with no.
And your photos look fine.
And I'm getting better, like accepting no as an answer. Back then, I wasn't working on it. It was like, no, like you do this or like screw you.
You really struggled when you were a kid.
Yeah. So that's not relevant right now, though.
Have you told you should tell the van story.
We already did.
Well, it's a good one.
It's on a different podcast.
You could tell it again.
Okay, after my story, after I'm done laughing at myself from last year.
That's pretty good.
And then remember, like, I was like so grossed out by how dirty the sand was because it wasn't white Florida sand.
Oh yeah, you were really going through it.
I was.
Florida bad.
And then the water was gross, and I was like, ew, how is anyone getting this water?
Oh my god.
It's so funny because now I'm a different person, and now I'm like, okay, I'll get in that water now.
It was a lot.
I just had to be away from Florida for a year.
What would you... Yeah, you don't know how much a place changes you until you move away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not me. I actually don't believe these things. And I would totally... I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I would say this. Oh, you love meat now, eating cheese, fucking all kinds of stuff.
I don't love meat, but I eat it because I just do because it's protein.
Yeah, it's good.
I still like eggs though. Like I never stopped liking eggs. I just didn't eat eggs when I was vegan because you're not supposed to.
Oh, I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty dramatic 4th of July. I got drunk, couldn't, and then you got mad at me for being drunk, and then I almost missed the fireworks, which I was also sad about, and like crying, and then we got in a fight. It was just like so dramatic.
You got wasted. You didn't
it was
just get
like
drunk.
such a very dramatic, drama. 4th of July. And like this year was like so relaxing and it was nice out. And I'm like, I'm not like that Hyman's girl from Florida anymore.
I try and keep things low key around here,
Yeah. And yeah, I really enjoyed my 4th of July this year.
Oh, good. And we're going to have some stuffed bell peppers for dinner.
Yeah.
Yep. Some strawberry pie for dessert.
Yeah.
Who's ever even... have you ever heard anyone talk about strawberry pie?
No, but
really cool.
I looked really good in the book you got me, and I was like, I want to make this.
What's that book called again?
How to be a wildflower, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How to be a wildflower. Yeah, that's a good book.
Yeah, I really like
cute.
it. There's like 3 other recipes in there. I want to make all of them, but I definitely had to start with the strawberry pie. It caught my interest the most.
I had no idea that there's recipes in it when I got it for you.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like the book a lot. Good call.
What'd you do in Florida for the 4th of July?
Oh geez. Oh, if I can even think. My memory, just like my brain doesn't work anymore because I'm so close to delivery and I have mom brain now.
Mom brain. It's a real thing.
It is a real thing. And I swear to God, the further along I get, the more, like, the worse it gets.
I'm just glad you haven't ghost rode the whip anymore.
I don't what?
Ghost ride the car. You hopped out and let it roll.
Oh, my God. That was bad.
I know.
That was so bad. I was, like, so stressed. I was like, oh, my God. This can never, ever happen again. This is, like, so not okay. And your mom's like, it might happen again.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't tell me that. Dylan will kill me.
It could. I mean, that's why I was like, I'm glad it hasn't. I'm really glad. I was like, scared.
I make sure my car is off. Like, I'm like, okay, and my car won't even like let me shut it off if it's not in park. But I wasn't like planning on like that particular day that happened. I wasn't trying to shut my car off because I just had to run inside and get something really quick. And I was like, why is my car moving? I was like, oh my God, I didn't put it in park.
Wow.
I know.
That's funny.
That's never happened to me before. So that's how I knew, like, it's getting real.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the other things? Like, have you had any other big blanking moments where you're like, oh my God, how'd that happen?
Yeah, I have. But it's okay. I get through it. It's never, like, a serious thing. It's never like, oh, like that could have went really bad. No, it's just like a minor whoops. Like, how do you feel about it? About me being pregnant, and like how has my pregnancy affected you as the daddy?
You do pretty good. I don't know. It's not that bad.
It's
you
really
definitely
not.
are very much like on a wave of emotions most of the time.
Yeah.
But other than that, you just gotta take it in strides.
Yeah.
And you stress yourself out more than you need to, for sure, about things. I'm like, look.
Like what?
There are things that you just cannot control. You'll be like, well, what are we going to do? What if this happens? Or what if hey, I'm like, you're talking about a year, 2 years, 5 years
I
into the
mean,
future.
it's natural though to be concerned.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
But I just have to try and tell you, like, look, there are things that you can't control, and you have to
Yeah.
let be. What will be, will be. You know,
Yeah. I know.
the
It's like the
just the
hard.
state of the look at the state of the country
I know.
6 months or 8 months ago when we decided to have this child to where we're at now.
Yeah.
Now there's a war, going on in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't happening in November,
No.
October,
No.
September.
No. It
Yep.
wasn't.
So
Yeah. Life wasn't really that bad.
after that, I just
8, 9 months ago.
it wasn't. Yeah, things
Yeah.
were different.
Yeah.
So with that, I was just kind of because at first I was as it was starting to go shitty, as
Yeah.
things were starting to slide, I
Uh-huh.
was just like freaking out, like worrying, much like you, and I just like something kicked in and like made me like think about the big picture and like start to worry halfway through the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And finally I was like, you know what? I still follow a lot of things and but I'm just like I can't concern myself with that cuz it's totally out of my hands. There's
Right.
absolutely nothing you can do.
That's good
and
that you
feel really
realize that
helpless.
because otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, you feel helpless. All you can do is read about it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
and now I'm even more stressed. So I was just like, gotta let it go. I'll still stay informed, but I
Right.
gotta let it go because I absolutely can do nothing about it.
Right. See, like, the world, like, it's concerning to me, but it's not as concerning as, like, me being a good parent. Like,
Right.
that's what I worry about more. It's like, oh my gosh, like, we're all screwed up. Like, even our parents are screw ups. Like, even if my parents are really good parents and they, like, have college degrees and they have, like, they look good on paper, but, like, we all have a past that fucked us up in the head. Like,
This is true.
you know what I mean?
And
So
it
it's
doesn't
like,
even have to be family. It can be something like you had bullied in school, whatever.
So it's like,
yeah.
okay, like my parents have their shit, we have our shit, and I'm just like so worried that my shit's gonna affect her. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious about that, though. I don't think it'll be a problem. Like the fact that, I mean, not that it won't be a problem, but every generation does a little bit better. Even if they're
Yeah.
not
I feel like
trying.
that's true.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we came from them, and we're way like the generations before me. I'm way better off than they were because of the work they did.
Yeah.
So even though there was some things going on, like still, they did the best they could, and I'm very grateful for it. And it worked. Like
Right.
it worked.
Right.
They did what they could, and it still turned out. Now I'm in the union. I'm successful. I have a family of my own.
Right.
Like, job done.
Right.
Job well done.
It's just like I love my mom and she's a great mom, but like there was like certain topics that were like hard or even almost embarrassing to bring up to her.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like I don't want my daughter to feel that way. Like I want her to feel like mom's a safe place and I can tell her anything.
And that's easy to do. That's easy to fix. I mean,
Yeah, so it's
you just
like
have to be very aware of every word that we
right.
speak,
It's like how do I do that? Like how do I make her feel that way? Because like I know like we can think we're doing that and then we're actually doing the exact opposite.
So
you know what I mean?
I've thought about this a lot actually.
Yeah.
And because this is something I've been aware of for a long time, and the reason I really wanted kids was to correct the generational curses that were done before us. Like that's our duty, is to do better and create better people for a better world. And if no one ever followed that, we'd still be in the 1700s,
Right.
in the 1800s, in the Wild West, shooting people in the streets for no reason because you lost a poker game.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And so you have to, like, I think a lot of it, because even if it's not something you're conscious of, like, you didn't shun her for this or whatever, but if there's big bolsterous reactions to anything that is kind of negatively connotated, I've seen this with you as well, that even if there's a tone raise or something because of the way that you were raised or the people you were around as you became an adult, like, you can like kind of be startled, and it's not just you, it's a lot of people. And you become aware of these things, you're like, all right, so we have to be very careful of how we talk to her
Yeah.
about something that could be negative. Like
Yeah.
you said, you don't like to hear no because it's always been derogatory, negative.
Yeah.
So if you approach the no with, which I have to work on a lot, but there's a tone, there's a way, pick your right words, and we have to really focus on that with her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
Can't get like, oh, don't do that. I mean, it's gonna happen. We're gonna be like, oh my god, no, and she's gonna be,
It's just like how often you do that. Like if that's all the time, then that's all she ever hears. But if it's like here and there, you do that. Whoops,
Well, it's gonna happen more than we think.
Yeah.
And so what I've thought about in that situation would be, because I've thought this through, that would be the kind of situation where you have to talk to her afterwards, and maybe even like it takes a minute, and you have to set her aside, clean up whatever mess or whatever happened.
Yeah.
Glass, who knows? It'll be stages of problems.
Right.
It's gonna continue. That, oh no, don't do that, is gonna happen for years, decade or more. And just explain, look, I'm sorry, I freaked out. That never happened. I never got explanations of like, oh, I panicked. I'm sorry I yelled. I didn't mean to yell at you. I just panicked. I was scared. Or you startled me, or just shocked.
Yeah.
I'm glad everyone's okay. We cleaned it up. It's going to be fine.
I agree.
It's replaceable. Whatever happened, it's replaceable. It's no big deal.
Right. Give her the reassurance like she's not fucking up. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, it's a mistake. Like it was an accident.
Yeah,
like,
no
it's
need to
okay.
be
Like we still love you. No one hates you. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I think.
No, I think that's great. I
try
heard
my best.
I don't know if it's true, but I just heard I didn't look into it, so I should probably do that. But I heard that little girls respond better to higher pitch voices, and then little boys respond better to like quieter voices.
Really?
I don't know it's true though, so don't like.
I feel like I'm missing another sticker packet.
Don't take my word for it. It's just something I heard.
I'll have to read into that.
So
that kinda makes sense though.
Right? It makes sense, but it's like I want to like make sure it's actually correct.
But I mean, even I don't think. I mean, the tone of voice maybe, but as far as like,
be like, okay, sweetheart. Like girls respond to that kind of voice better than like boys do.
So
that's what I was saying.
As far as that, like even animals, they appreciate a soft tone.
Right.
Like if you have a harsh tone with a dog, they're gonna feel that. And the way I look at it is like, I grew up with horses too, so maybe as long as I can try and keep that mindset of like, all right,
how you talk matters.
Well, yeah, because if you're on a horse, and when you're on a horse, how you
it's like your energy. Like energy of a horse can feel your energy.
Yeah, and it will react to that.
Yeah.
It'll be a problem.
Yeah.
And so you have to like,
kids are the
whatever
same
happened
way.
that day, you have to just clear your mind.
Yeah.
You have to put this all aside, blank head, like just empty your mind, be like water, like Bruce Lee says. And then you can approach the horse, ride, everything will be fine. But if you go out there with something on your mind, you're going to be fighting that horse all day, and you guys both are worse off for it. And now you're even more upset, and the horse had a terrible day, and you were probably pulling on his head because you're fighting him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, as long as you can keep that head clear, and that's how I'm going to try to approach, any kind of situation we have to deal with.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
There'll be a lot of times where she makes us mad.
Yeah.
She's our daughter.
I know. But I do think I was actually a really good kid, though. Like, sure, I would escape through my window to go right back around the neighborhood, but that's literally the worst I'd done.
That's not that big a deal.
No, like, I know people who, like, got into drugs in high school, they dropped out, they had to get their GED, and, like, who knows, they probably didn't even get their GED sometimes, depending on who they were. I never did any of that. Like, people would smoke pot, like there was like at my high school there was like a ring where you can play hockey, and there was like a I don't know what you call it, like a warming house, and like people will like smoke.
A warming house?
Like it's a Minnesota thing. Like you go inside, it's like a warming house, so like you're not in the cold in the winter.
So it's just like a room, like a shed with a.
It's not like a shed. It's like a building. It looks like a Parks and Rec building.
Open.
Yeah, and they have like pool tables and like foosball.
Okay.
And like air hockey, but it's just like a place where you warm up and then you go back out and skate or play ice hockey.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never heard of anything like
that. It's a total Minnesota thing. Winter sports are very popular, especially hockey and skating. And every place that you can do those, like on ice, like they have a warming house. Yeah. And there was one on my high school property, and they would all like just go in there and smoke weed because no one was supervising it. And I'm just like, oh my God, losers. Like,
I never started smoking weed until I was out of high school either. I was 19.
Same.
First time I saw weed, I was 19 years old.
I think I was like 22. I was trying to pass a textile, a textile test for textile class because I went to school for fashion. I had to know like the thread count and like
really
what is this
so you
fabric?
Could just look at it.
No, you had to know everything.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I was so freaked out. I was like, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to pass this test. There's too much to learn. Like, I have to know the thread count, and I have to know this, that, like so much. Like, and then this girl that was like from Vegas, she was like, oh, you should just smoke pot. It relaxes you. I was like, that is not what I heard about pot.
What'd you hear? Because it definitely does.
I don't know. She was like, it relaxes and helps you focus.
What kind of what kind of propaganda was pushed about weed when you were a kid? Like, what did you think about weed before you tried it?
That it makes you a loser in life. That's right? Literally what my parents told me. They're like, if you want to feel like smoke weed, it will make you a couch potato. And that's all you will ever do because you won't have drive anymore. And I was like, oh, shit, that sounds horrible. I'm like,
well, I mean, look at me.
I know.
It's totally true. It's all true.
I know, right? But that was like, because that's the information
crazy.
My parents feed me to think about potheads.
It was also fed to them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been passed down.
But it's funny. The story is really funny because finally this girl like convinced me. She was like, it's going to help you focus and you're going to be able to pass your test tomorrow. I promise. And I was like,
did that work?
Hold on. And I was like, are you sure? Like, you promise? Like, I don't know if I trust you. She's like, come on, just try it. Like, just a little bit. And I did it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. My throat, like my throat's on fire.
Immediately, yeah.
I was like freaking out. I went straight to her fridge. I was like, I'm eating your ice cream. Oh, like
you definitely got a good hit.
And I was like, go down. Like, and I was like, you didn't tell me that was gonna happen. She's like, yeah, but then would you have done it? I'm like, no.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't have done it.
No. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to study now. But then I passed out. Weed made me pass out.
Yeah, I was like, she didn't finish her test.
No. So
How'd you do on the
never
test?
studied. I was not focused. I was very relaxed to the point where I was sleeping. But I did not focus.
Well,
I would focus myself to sleep.
Her main point was that you would be relaxed. That was her number one selling point.
She didn't tell me it was going to make me go to bed, though. And then the next day, I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh my God, my test is in 2 hours. Like, what do I do? I'm not ready. And I'm like going, like my college was like downtown Minneapolis, like in like a building that used to be an old parking garage.
Okay.
And then it's connected to all these skyways. In Minnesota, we have
a skyway.
A skyway, it's literally like a bridge that like connects in the sky.
Like a walk bridge?
From building to building.
Oh,
so you don't have,
yeah.
So you don't have
a skyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a highway. Or, I don't know.
Oh, no, it's for walking. It's like covered. So like wintertime, you're not freezing your butt off.
I got you.
Like New York should have those, but they
don't.
don't.
They have a couple. I built some actually.
In New York?
For school. For a high school.
Oh, okay.
In Sherwood. Continue, sorry.
No, you're good. So I went through the skyway and I'm like at this like sandwich shop, just sitting there stressing out. Like, what do I do? Like, do I just not go to class and like pretend like I'm late? Like, do I study? And they'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. Like, or like, but instead I was like, okay, I can't do this. I can't like skip the test. You might not let me redo it. And so I call my mom, like, Mom, I'm freaking out. Like, she's like, why?
Did you tell her?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like,
I
Mom,
could never tell
can
my
you
parents.
give me a doctor's note so I can be excused from this test? She's like, why do you need a doctor's note? I'm like, Mom, I'm super high and I can't do this test. Like, I'm so paranoid. Like, I can't go to class. She's like, Alexa, are you listening to yourself? You can't tell the doctor you need a doctor's note because you're high.
Yeah, you can't. You can't tell them
She
that.
like laughed at me. I was like, why is this funny? And she's like, are you hearing yourself? And I was like, this isn't funny, Mom. She's like, why aren't you mad at me? Like, she's like, I can't be mad at you.
See, that's the right way to handle that. So that goes right into what we were talking about.
I was like, wait, what? Why aren't you mad at me? And she's like, well, because I would be a hypocrite if I was. I smoke weed in college too. I was like, you? Like, you have all moms. I would not expect it from my mom.
I didn't. No, I would have not guessed that. I would have said she's never done it.
Right? But no, she did. I was like, oh, shit. All right. You're not as good as I thought.
Well, everyone should try something.
Right?
At least once. My parents, it wasn't like that. It was not like that.
Yeah.
They did not like it. They still don't like that I smoke weed, but they hated it.
Right.
And they actually, I lived outside an RV, and
of
they were
course
like,
you did.
yeah, right? I mean, look at us now.
Oh, by the way, before you can hear your story, the end result of my story is I passed the test.
That's good.
Was no study at all. It was just pure paranoia, and I passed it.
Right on. I mean,
Paranoia made me pass the test.
that's awesome.
It's weird. How does that work?
Because you focused harder. So the weed did make you focus.
Yeah, but I never studied. That's the weird part. Like, did I just remember and I just didn't know I knew it all?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably already knew it.
Maybe. Anyways, continue. Your
What was I
parents,
saying?
how you lived outside of an RV, and your parents were mad at you because you smoke weed. Which
Yeah, and I would smoke outside, but I think, and I used to help people grow and trim, and I think they just were like, I probably reeked all the time. I probably smelled like weed all the time.
probably
Like all
how
my
they
clothes.
knew.
And they probably didn't like me in the house, but eventually they were like, you got to move that trailer. You got to get out of here.
Oh my god.
And they did not like the weed at all. They still
my
don't,
parents-
but they're better about it. They let it be now.
Yeah,
But it
they're
took a
better
long
about it
time.
now. Yeah.
And had to show that I'm not lazy. That was the same memo. It makes you a loser. Okay.
It's what our parents were taught, and they said it to us too. And
You remember Dare program?
oh yeah, of course. How can I forget that?
Right. Yep.
I
Propaganda
was like
pushing all
that super
drug
kid. I'm
shit.
like, yeah, I'm never drinking alcohol because it's bad for your body. And I was like that weird kid.
It's definitely bad for your body because you can't handle it.
Yeah. Especially after my mom was here for the baby shower and she told us like how my dad would be when he was on alcohol.
Is that probably why you can't handle your alcohol?
Probably. He's my dad. I'm like his blood.
Yeah. You really can't.
I can't handle it. I didn't know my dad was like that. He didn't tell me that. He just told me like he had to be sober because he saw how horrible of a drunk his dad was. He never told me that he got rowdy like that, like my mom told us.
Yeah, like there's no reason to hide that. Like my mom was pretty open about her life, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, right on. No need to hide
Yeah.
shit. Especially today, there's no way we can hide anything. It's
No.
all on the internet. Everything is on the internet.
Right. But I mean, I'm kind of glad, like, I know, like, alcohol makes me that way, and I respect myself enough to, like, know my limit, except for, like, where we go to places and the drinks are way too strong than they should be.
Yeah, then they get you.
Then it's like, what? I had one mimosa. How did this happen?
We were thinking about the same story.
Yep. Because that was really bad. That's why we're thinking about the same story.
Yeah, it was. It was bad. I was like, what happened? Like, what is going on? One drink? She had one drink. It was wild. That was a crazy day. Maybe you didn't eat You drank it because that's what it was. We waited so long. We were there like an hour in line, and you drank that big mimosa.
Yeah, and that
then-
was our breakfast.
Yeah, so you pretty much had alcohol for breakfast, empty stomach. Your body was all
Yeah,
sucked it all up.
that makes more sense because that has never happened
And it
to
was
me
strong.
before. Yeah,
It
and
was strong.
Yeah. Yeah, when I tell people that story, they're like, one drink? Damn, girl.
I know. It's a crazy story.
I'm like, yeah.
So maybe you should, since you're talking about it, you might want to just share the story.
Okay, I'm going to tell my version of it because your version is like way off.
It's all okay. Okay, it's all you. Let's hear it. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this.
So it was like there is this really cool. What was the name of the bar again? I forgot.
I can't remember.
It was like a Harley Davidson bar, like in the Tri-Cities, which is Eastern Washington, Southeast Washington, and they had like a really good food. But that was our first time there, right? Or was that our second time there?
First time.
Okay, yeah. So first time there, you heard the food was good or something, but we're there and then we're waiting in line and we're like, oh, let's get a mimosa. That's harmless, right?
They were strong though. This was definitely like, hey, we know how to serve you.
Right. I mean, hello, it's a motorcycle bar.
It was a cool bar.
Yeah, it was. It was super cool.
I think about that place.
We like met this couple who were like serious Harley riders. Like as we're waiting, we were that couple. Mm-hmm. Like even the lady had her leather jacket on.
Didn't we see them again?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, they were cool. So we're just talking to them, having a good time, and yeah. So and then all of a sudden, like we sit down, like everything's fine. We order food. The food comes. Yeah, when alcoholism has hit the system and people touch my food, clearly that's a trigger.
Your future husband can't touch your plate.
Yeah. So
Tell him how big this pancake was,
we weren't
though.
married yet. And then, like, this pancake's probably like this size, but like circle. And there's two of them. And he's like, oh, I want a bite. And I was like, no.
Well, it's because you had this super special sauce that we had to pay like $3 for.
And then the syrup fell over my pants, all over the table. It got on the pancake, which is great, but everything else was not great. And then I get up. And because I'm so, like, wasted off this one mimosa, I'm like so drunk, like don't even know what's like my surroundings. I guess.
Not at all.
And I knocked the chair down, and in my head, I'm like, damn, I really want to pick that chair up, but if I do, I might not get up. Like,
that makes a lot more sense. I had no idea.
I was like, yeah, I can't pick it up. Like, I just have to go do what I need to do in the bathroom and come back, and then I'll pick it up. And then, and so. But from outside perspective, I look like a total bitch.
So
because I didn't pick the
this
chair
is where
up.
my part of the story comes in.
Yeah.
So
and Dylan's like pissed, livid at me when I come back.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why are you so mad at me, babe?"
I know she was mad at me for touching her food. Still, I was like, "Whatever." So I have a little bite. I try a little bite. I was like, "Oh wow, that's good." And there's this Marionberry sauce, syrup, not sauce, syrup. And so we get this syrup. I'm like, oh man, I want to try another bite. You got more than enough food. You could never finish this pancake. I know I couldn't finish it. Your tiny ass definitely couldn't finish this pancake. But you think that you're like a pit bull on its dog bowl. Like, get back, don't touch my dog bowl. And pull that dog bowl in, and that thing went flying. Like, you thought we were tug of war or something. I didn't have a hold of it. You just ripped it like you had to, like someone was on the other side of that plate. And all over your shirt, and it's dripping off the ground because it was in a cup on top of the pancake. So now that's just spilling on the ground, dripping. It's all over the table. It's on the floor. And this old man, like this 80-year-old man, I'm in shock. I'm just like watching her do that. She looks at it. Everything she said, looked at it, was like, fuck that. I got to go. Storms off. And I'm like, really? She just like, what? And then this old man makes me snap out of it. And I see him. And I'm kind of like looking at everyone around as like looking at us as well. And That old man starts to pick up the chair, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, no! All right, I got it." And someone brought me a towel, and I'm cleaning up this mess, babysitting her ass. And I'm like, "How did this happen?" And I didn't think she was drunk. I didn't think you were that drunk. I thought you were just going psycho on me, and that's why I was really so mad. And then I was more like mad that you got. I'm like, how did she get this drunk? Because you were still drunk the rest of the day. You're a fuckery. Like, God. I should have just took you home. I still don't know what I was thinking. Kept dragging you around town. Oh, mistake. But it was a good story. It's a good story now, you know.
It is a good story.
That's the worst. And we've gotten drunk before, but that was next level. I don't even know. I'll never know. I'll never understand that one.
Yeah, he was so mad when I got back to the table, and then that made me feel like mad because he was mad at me.
You're so unapologetic, and then you didn't even end up eating the food.
Yeah, because you were mad at me. I didn't want to eat anymore because in my drunk brain, I was like, I don't deserve to eat because you're mad at me.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I mean, we've known each other for years, but we hadn't been back together, living together for that long.
Right.
And I was like, man, I'm really questioning this shit.
Yeah.
But of course, my love for you prevailed. And
It prevailed.
unfortunately,
Thankfully.
yes, very thankfully. No, it wasn't nothing crazy, but I hadn't never seen you like that before. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I have to very much monitor her alcohol consumption. Make sure, like, all right, babe, we're going out. Did you just eat right before? Because if you didn't eat, we're going to carry snacks.
I know. I think, like, pretty much after that, like, you made sure I ate before we went out.
Yeah, you major mistake.
Yeah. And then, like, even when we, like, were dating in Florida.
I would always make sure you had food.
And, well, not only that, but we didn't really go out partying, getting wasted drunk. We would just, like, go to, like...
We did a couple times.
Yeah, but not...
We always got those, like, 2 or 3 times we'd get the vegan dog.
Oh, yeah.
You went ham on a vegan dogs more than once, like mayo and everything.
They're
like,
so good.
Just look like a goulash of fucking fake meat. And
it was good, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're
so
still
I know
good.
you were drunk when you were eating those.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. And then when we go to the burrito place.
Oh, yeah, Gringos.
Yeah, Gringos.
Yeah.
Wasted. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And we went to like that one nightclub, Guilt Nightclub.
Yeah.
That was fun. I think that was like one of our first times like going out like as like a couple.
Probably. I remember that.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
It was downtown Orlando, but it's like further downtown.
Oh, I got you.
Plus it's like dark, so you can't really see. But yeah.
Yeah, it felt dark.
Yeah.
Like you're not really downtown anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some fun times. I remember like one time I wanted you to go to an iBar with me because I would always go with my friends. He would never go with me because you have to wake up early. And I was like, ugh. Like, just one time. Like, one time, please. And then finally you agreed to it. And then you forgot your ID and you didn't
yeah.
And you didn't have a passport for like a backup. Like, you didn't have anything. So we totally like had to just go home.
You were so mad. You were so livid.
I was so mad because it took a lot just for this to happen and then it didn't happen.
You never let me live that down. Never.
I mean, I totally
clearly
like,
now
forgave you about it. Like now it's just a story.
No, back then though, you were mad for a long time. You'd bring it up like when we'd fight about something totally random. You're like, "And that one time you forgot your ID?" Like, oh my god.
No, I think I always brought it up because you always forgot your wallet everywhere.
I still do sometimes.
Not this bad.
No, it was bad back then. It was really bad.
It was all the time. Like, oh, Jesus
it was just
Christ. Like, why am I with this guy? He always forgets his wallet. I'm starting to think he's doing it on purpose.
Just to get you to cop the bill?
Yes.
Well, if I would have known that would work, where are you pushing the table?
Oh, sorry.
Where are you going?
Nothing. I'm just playing with this thing.
You can play with that. No.
It's not playable yet.
Yeah, you're right. I'll get it there for you.
Yeah, but we did go to the Chain Smokers, even though I found out like this year that you really didn't have that much fun. I
enjoyed it with you. I didn't enjoy it. I don't like those. I'm not into concerts that are indoors, like in a stadium, because stadiums aren't made for sound like that.
Okay, but my
so when you're up
perspective
there-
on it is that I love the Chain Smokers, and I have no idea when I was ever going to see them again. And
Oh, it's still fun to go.
Yeah.
Especially as a date. But like, so my mindset is, so the thing you got to do when I've done, I helped with a stadium performance, and you have to, the audio sounds terrible when it's empty. You can get it as close as you can, but like, all right, this is where it's got to be. When the crowd's here, we can ramp it up. Because you use them as soundproofing. So a live body is the best soundproofing. You fill a room with people, that sound's going to sound, it's going to be amazing quality. And so when you're up in the nosebleeds.
So basically, Dylan is a audio snob. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah. And so when you're in the nosebleeds, you're not getting that soundproofing. Everybody below the third level gets to use the third level as soundproofing.
I just
the lower you go, the better.
tickets, and I was supposed to go with a friend, but she totally ditched, and I bought the tickets already, and so that's why I asked you, and we were like newly dating.
It's better to go than not go.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, maybe he will go with me, because if he doesn't go, then I'm not going. I'm not going by myself.
Like, remember going to see Hippie Sabotage?
That was fun.
And the quality of sound was way better, right?
Yeah.
Outdoors.
Yeah, it was way better.
Outdoors, so it has somewhere to go.
Yeah.
When you're up on the roof of the stadium, it bounces right back to you, and it sounds terrible.
Yeah. We need to go to concerts again.
Yeah, I know. We live in a worst place ever.
For it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait till. That's why another reason I want to move back to Seattle.
Because there's more stuff.
Well, they have a baseball team. They've got sports teams, football.
Yeah, cities are more
hockey.
fun than rural areas.
Yeah, they got hockey. I love hockey.
Yeah.
I want to go. I haven't been to a hockey game since 2016.
Whoa, that's
I know.
a long time. That's when you moved to Florida, isn't it?
The day I moved is the day I went to the hockey game, Sharks game. Yep.
So, yeah, it's been quite some time, like almost 8 years.
No.
No, that's not 8 years from now. No, you're right. That's not 8 years. I was like, wait, what? No. That math is so off.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. Yeah, Seattle was like, I'm sure Seattle will be fun this time around. Because
Need to push this.
Because the mandates are dropped.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Yep. It would definitely be different this time around. And like it was like kind of like depressing. We couldn't really explore when we were there before.
Oh, I know. And then what was it? The week we left or the day we left?
The day we left, they
up.
lift the mask mandate and everything.
That's just our luck.
I know. It really was. It was annoying. But I was like excited for our next adventure. But the one thing I would be like so excited to move back to Seattle area is the Bellevue Church. I really like that place a lot.
Yeah. What's the church called again?
Crossroads.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They're great people there.
They are. They're like real. Like they're not like these
Did I drop a piece?
floofy fake Christians.
I think I dropped a piece.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's very, you got to be particular with the churches you go to, too.
Yeah.
I've definitely gone to a lot of churches I did not like.
The wrong church can actually ruin your faith.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
It's better.
I've seen it in person.
Yeah.
Seen it happen to people.
Yeah. You have to be very careful, like where you go to worship and learn just to be more involved in your spiritual journey. Like it's really important that you're selective about that.
Of course. Same same with your group of friends.
Right.
I mean, same with anything. People you talk to at work, you never know. I mean, you never know where opposition lies.
Right. No, I agree.
And
100%.
your best friend can turn out to be plotting against you.
Right.
You know, no one's above that.
Yeah, I know. It's true. So
Yep.
people always have like, I mean, I shouldn't say always, but most people, like, my really good friend Eddie's like always telling me, well, you said it to me too, but he would tell it to me like all the time. He was like, most people want you to do good in life, but they don't want you to do better than them.
Yep.
And he's like, I hope you do better than me. And I mean that. Like,
And that's the people you want around.
yeah. And it's so true. It's like, that's how I see most people. It's like, yeah, they're your friend, but are they really your friend? Because if you do better than them, are they still your friend?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, so like the example I said was, like if you're getting in shape and you're kind of out of shape and you can lose some weight and your buddy, he doesn't work out, or maybe he does. Maybe you have one buddy that does and doesn't, and they're both rooting for you. And then you pass the one easily because you're consistently working out, so you burn 10 pounds right off the top in the first month or so, and or more, depending. And then, so that guy's kind of like, okay, yeah, good job, keep it up. But as you keep going, and now you're at the point where you're at the same level as your friend that works out regularly, but he's just doing it a few days a week, you know, staying in shape, nothing crazy, not sculpted, just you know, not overweight. And then you keep going, you get super obsessed, get dedicated. Even that guy will start to doubt you, will start to question you because he can't face his own reflection.
Right.
It's a character flaw. It doesn't
Right.
happen to everybody.
Yeah.
But there are people out there like that. And when you notice that, you just got to recognize it and be like, all right, well, I guess know where that guy lies. You know?
Right.
You can't have negative energy like that around you.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally get that.
And excuses, too. I feel the same way about people with excuses.
Right. Like, oh, I can't do this because of this and this and that.
If you
That
said you're going to be somewhere, you better be there.
Yeah.
Give me a couple days notice. If you want to give me a day or something, let me know something came up. You just need to change plans. But if it's already like right, if it's short notice, you know, if it was a business, I'd charge you.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so rude.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that, but you're right.
Like, why? I hate when people say, when you're doing someone a favor and they say, oh, I'm going to be there, like, meet me at this time. And then they're not there. It's like, dude, what the hell? Like, I don't get joy out of this to do this for you. Like, I'm doing this for you because you're my friend. Like, you need to be on time.
It's easy to get taken advantage of.
You're
like that.
disrespecting my time, and I don't appreciate it. Like,
and that's the most valuable commodity on earth.
Yeah, like this is disrespectful, and like, I think that's why, like, I don't know. She's
got wheels.
I was like kind of harsh.
A little bit.
I mean, am I still harsh?
No, it's fine.
Not to who you think. I'm just saying in general to my friends.
Sometimes.
Like, I feel like I can be harsh, but like I feel like I'm not, then people don't respect me. Then
you let it slide until it's a problem, and then you put it down. You're like, all right, now you're taking advantage. And yeah, which is good. You stand your ground.
Right.
You're not.
Yeah. And it's just
and then
like,
of course, they want to throw that in your face and be like, oh, you're being a bitch.
Right.
Like,
of course
no,
they
I'm
do.
not. You're being a bitch by not respecting me.
Right. That happened to me, like, literally, remember, we were talking again, like, after, like, 2.5 years, 3 years went by. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't think we should talk again. Well, literally, like, right after that happened, like, my car had issues. And, like, my car died, like, in the Target parking lot, like, across the street from my house. No big deal. My car's right there.
Right. That's convenient.
Yeah. And I had, like, the roadside assistance on my Progressive insurance.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Policy, whatever. So they tow it to my house, and then this guy I knew, who like works on cars, who knows my friend Michaela. So like I knew him from her. And then he was like, "Oh, I'll come by and fix your car." I was like, "Perfect, great, thanks." And then he never showed up. I was like, "Dude, like, what the hell? Like, where are you?" He's like, at first, I was like, "Oh, like, you didn't come by." And then he was like, "Oh, sorry, got like, whatever, like, got caught up in like some business, like, couldn't find a sitter, whatever. He has like a son." And then it went on for like 3 more days, like 2 more days. So it was like 3 days total. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, you know what?
So you kept waiting for him for the, like, he kept saying he was gonna
Yeah,
come?
and like
Damn.
every day, like he didn't come. I had to pay more money for my rental car.
Yeah.
So it was costing me money because he wasn't
At that
following.
point, you could have paid a mechanic to do the work.
Right. So then I was like, dude, this is really not cool. Like this, it's been 3 days now. Like, are you coming or not? Like, don't keep leading me on. Like seriously, if you don't freaking come tomorrow, I am blocking you, and I don't care.
What makes someone do that? What makes someone go like, "Oh, I need to, like, I'm gonna put this out there," and I have no intention of backing it up?
Right. And then you know what I do? I was like, I was really hesitating to reach out to Eddie because he has a girlfriend. I was like, oh, I don't want to be like that person that texts someone who's like in a relationship. And
Right.
And I was like, oh, like, I know Eddie would be there in a freaking heartbeat. He's always been there for me in a heartbeat. Like, I know I can rely on him.
Yeah, he's a good friend. He's an actual friend, real friend.
And so I was like, oh, you know what? We're friends, right? Like, Eddie would not hesitate to help me regardless if he has a girlfriend or not.
No.
And so I messaged him. I was like, hey, like, Eddie, like, really need help with my car. Like, I know you have a girlfriend. Like, I really hope this doesn't like bother her, but I really need your help. Like, this guy that I was supposed to help me has not been following through. And you know what? He showed up in an hour.
Yeah.
All you had to do that day in an hour.
You know what else that is? That's just proof to. Granted, this guy was leading you on about that, but that's also proof to, like, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, from the people you know can help, you can trust.
Right.
Even if something happened in the past, or if they got a girlfriend, you're not talking at the moment or asking favors.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, a real friend's still going to show up.
Right.
And they're always going to be your friend.
Right. Like, Eddie's pretty great. He, like, him and I, like, had this agreement that, like, you know, if I got a boyfriend or he got a girlfriend, because I met him when I first moved to Florida, like, back in 2014.
Uh-huh.
And we got so close, like, as friends. Like, we never saw each other, like, sexually. Like, we never had that sexual attraction. Like, we were just, like, just friends.
Yeah.
And, like, I love learning from him because he's, like, a mechanic. He works mainly on Mustangs. You know, that's what I love.
Your favorite.
Yeah, my favorite. So, like, we really bonded over cars. And he taught me stuff my dad didn't teach me. Like, he taught me how to change a tire. He taught me how to drive a stick.
That's so important. Your dad didn't teach you that?
No. And he taught me how to change my brake pads and rotors because, you know, I had that constant problem.
Oh, my God. That's a different story.
And then we just came with an unspoken agreement that, like, no matter what, like, I'm his homegrown, he's my homeboy.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing's going to come between that.
It's always that way.
Yeah. And so, like, when I reached out to him and he told me, he's like, no, Jessica knows, like, you're my homegirl. And if you need my help, like, I have to help you. And I was like,
that's cool.
Aw. So I was like, okay, good. Thanks.
I always had my dad for car help when I lived in Red Bluff. And then the same thing kind of, I was like, oh, man. Well, you don't realize how much you need to trust a mechanic until your mechanic's gone. You're like, shit.
Yeah, right.
I really need this guy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so now it's still kind of close. But, yeah, there's a lot of times where I've had mechanics that I was like, damn, I wish my dad was working on it. Would have been so much better to have the guy I know doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
To learn something.
Right. You know, like, Eddie's such a good friend that he called me when I was freaking out about what happened to you from work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, oh, what's going on with your husband? Is he okay? Like, what's happening? And I was just like, I told him what happened. I was like, what is your advice? Like, what do I do? And he's like, well, my only advice to give you is like, try not to freak out.
Best advice you could get.
I'm like, ugh, you had to give me that response.
Everyone gave you that.
Yeah, I know.
Don't freak out.
Yeah.
Well, of course. What do you do?
Wow. Freak out. Yeah.
That's what you're best at.
Yeah. And
But that's okay. That means you care. You love. It's your best trait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sure do. Even when I'm being not the nicest, I still care about you.
You'll be screaming mad and serving me dinner. Fuck you. Here's your food. Like, okay. Sure. Well, I guess I'll just take the food. And I think that's a good thing.
I mean, my love for you doesn't stop because I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, just because you like hurt me or like I don't like the way you talk to me. Like sometimes when you're on edge or like we got in a fight, whatever it is, like some negative vibe. Like I'm still like, well, this is my husband. Like I love him.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I still have to feed you.
I love it. It's nice. I mean, as you know, I'm pretty much the cook around here most of the time.
Yeah.
So anytime you feed me, I'm like, yes. Food.
Right.
I cook so long for so many years by myself. So I just want someone to cook for me sometimes.
And I do.
I know. Like the strawberry pie today.
I do really good when you like send me recipes and you're like, I want you to make this, babe, and I'm like, okay.
Which is kind of cool because now I can be like, what do I want to make that I don't want to cook?
Yeah,
What?
you should just do that more often. Like when you send me those 2 recipes, I made it.
I have been. It worked. It's paying off.
Yeah.
Just
It's
what
paying
you
off.
need to do is save those recipes, and now I don't have to send them to you anymore.
Well, yeah, I'll save them, but like, how often do you want them all the time? Like, you have to
Once
tell
a
me to
month,
be
maybe
like,
once
be
every
like,
other month.
oh, babe, make those like
I will.
zucchini burrito things.
I will. I'll be like, you remember that thing we had that one time? Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, save them, and then you'll have them, and then we can make them more and more.
Right. I like doing that.
You're a
Like-
really good cook when you have a recipe to follow.
Thanks. Yeah, I can't just make stuff up. My brain wanders. I'm like, and then my anxiety kicks in. I'm like, ah, like I don't have structure.
Yeah, that's what it is. So you need the instructions. Like, all right, now I'm here. I got the structure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Something to look at, physical.
Yeah. Like I can't like if it's like creative, like art, painting, whatever. Like whatever art form, like I can do it. Like I have to think what I'm gonna be doing, but I know how to do it.
Okay.
Because it's free.
So the concept is let's be free.
Yeah.
So then you have the ability to.
But with cooking, I feel like I can't do that because I just don't have the knowledge of like cooking.
It takes time.
Like
My mom, not my parents.
I just feel
Mom
like
taught me how to
I
cook.
don't really know what's really going to taste good together because what I think tastes good, not everybody likes.
Well, your standards are low.
What do you mean my standards
for
are?
food? You've eaten frozen chicken nuggets.
I like frozen chicken nuggets.
Most 99.9% of the world, unless they're 5 years old, don't support that idea. Like literally break teeth on your.
I just like
chicken
eating,
nuggets.
okay? I just like things in my mouth. Like,
Yes, this is true. That's hilarious. You do like things in your mouth. Well, it's no secret. What was that meme I got sent today?
what?
The dad hits his head, or the son. Fuck it. The son hits it. The mom, she fell, hit her head.
Yes, I remember.
Text the dad. To
And
check
she's
in.
like, how's mom's head? And then the dad's like, I had better.
I was like, oh my god, that's gold. Yeah, that was awesome.
That is so gross to text to your kid.
I know. What was he thinking? That's hilarious. I love memes. Memes are the best.
They are.
That's one of the best inventions of this decade.
Memes.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Such a good, quick jolt of humor. Oh, okay. Day's already better.
I feel like
I can get a good laugh at lunch. I'm like, all right, let's get it.
Right, laughing is the best medicine, they say. I feel like comedy is so. What's the right word? Like, I feel like people in comedy who are professionals probably don't care about this as much as like newbies, like stand-up comedians who are still trying to like make it. Like in a city like such as like Seattle, there's probably like stand-up comedians there.
Yeah, there's a scene.
Yeah, or like in Orlando, like I feel like they fear judgment more because they don't have this high platform where they can be like, well, if you don't like me, fuck you. Because they're worried about people liking them because they're trying to get there.
Well,
and then I feel like people are so sensitive nowadays that I feel like they probably feel scared to make some jokes that they really want to say.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You really nailed it. But also, furthermore, people have comedians, especially. They need attention. That's why they're comedians.
Because they need attention.
They have a void, some sort of emptiness in them that needs to be filled by people's approval.
Yeah.
Approval.
Yeah.
Laughter is a sign of applause, approval.
Yeah, that's true.
They need to feel recognized. And that's why all comedians could say pretty strongly, like, they probably came from that. Because, the same concept with actors.
True. I
you don't want to be in the spotlight. Like, you don't want to be in the spotlight unless you need to be in the spotlight. No one's like, it's a lot of work to be that famous. Nothing good happens from being that famous. You're always... So if you want that, there's something in your head, something that happens. So who knows? Who knows the reasons? But there's something going on in you that needs a void. A void needs to be filled. And, for me personally, I know several comedians that have had abandonment, not abandonment issues, but their fathers weren't around, their biological fathers. And having that experience myself, I know I learned how to feel. I recognized it young and was able to find that gratitude in myself and in my work. And my work wasn't applause. They find it in their work, but their work is relies on other people's approval. My work does not. There's a standard set in stone. This is what good work looks like. Here's a picture. Here's the prints, the paper. This is what you need. Boom, do it, and you're good. So it's the same concept. Like, I thrive for that, that yearning of approval, but I found it in something I can get myself. I didn't have to rely on other people.
Right.
They fell to the side of probably found laughter at a young age, and then became a comedian.
I think I think you're right, but I feel like maybe not for everybody, but maybe for some people who are trying to accomplish that that comedian life, maybe they just really like making people laugh.
Well, and you're right. Most likely. I shouldn't say all people that had that. Like, I said all comedians. That's a bold statement.
I don't think you're wrong, but I just don't think
you're also
maybe
right.
That's the only reason why
you're also
they
correct.
are so driven to that lifestyle. I think it could be a multiple magnitudes of things.
Yeah, it can be a lot. That's just one theory. To say it's all is a bold statement. It's not true, but it definitely. There's comedians that had a great childhood, great upbringing, never loved Andrew Schultz, greatly loved, just has a talent for being funny and has the drive and passion to do it.
Sometimes it's like when you make people laugh, it feels good. Like you feel like you're doing a good charity duty.
So
like you feel like you're doing charity because you made someone better. Like you made someone's day better. Like
it definitely has a huge impact.
Yeah, I feel like
lives.
It makes you feel good. Like what's that chemical that makes you feel good?
Dopamine.
Yeah, I feel like it gives you
It does give you a
dopamine
rush.
hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And another thing too about Andrew Schultz is he had a lot of support
Yeah.
in his from his family to
That's
pursue
good.
that dream. No,
Yeah.
They go, oh, you can't make any money or this or that. And I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I listened to the show quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
He seems pretty
But,
confident, and he seems like he came from a pretty good family.
He did.
Yeah.
He definitely did. And I'm pretty sure they supported him all the way through his
Yeah.
goals and ambitions.
Yeah. You saw on my birthday that wasn't true for me.
Right. That was crazy.
Like I think
never-
that was the first time you actually understood.
I called her out. I
Yeah.
called them all out. She was getting everyone else on your side. I was like, what is going on here? How can you be so unsupportive?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
That's one thing we will not do.
I do appreciate you sticking up for me, and you're like, well, maybe this is why she's never achieved anything she wants to do because you guys do this.
Yeah.
And it's true, though.
I know. I felt bad. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Because as much my parents guided me away certain things, like I would have loved to have been an audio engineer, way easier on my body, way, I could have done really well. I was pretty good at it. But, they kept saying, oh, you won't want to live in a city, which they're right. But, my career, I was like, let me get a job that I don't have to be in the city. Well, look, my job takes me to cities all around the country.
Yeah.
And so that kind of backfired. But they just gave me they supported it, but they're like really considerate first. I just want to lay out the pros and the cons, and why don't you really consider that before you make your decisions?
Right.
And not saying that they didn't support one, but definitely had a bias towards, you know what I mean? They didn't hide their bias, but they didn't outright shut you down like we experienced the other day. And that was weird.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Like, I kind of sort of understand what you were saying about getting lack of attention growing up from those who love the stage. And why would someone want to be the center of attention or famous like that if something wasn't really going on?
Okay.
Just to bring that back, because I wanted to say something about it. It's like, I feel like growing up, I was never in theater. I was never into that, but my brother was. But I did like being photographed. I like people looking at me at my best.
Right.
Because I like the attention it gives me. But not only that, I also feel like it's a way for me to look at myself and be like, oh, like I reflect on what I see, because I don't know how to say this, but I guess I always struggled with the way I look, not because I don't think I'm beautiful or this or that, but it's just more like I don't really know if that's true. Does that make sense? What I think of myself might not be.
So you want to hear the proof? You're like, I have this idea, and I think, but let me just see what they think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, I do that with it's like, hey man, look, check this out. I know it's good, but I don't I feel it feels cocky to just say I want to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Let me get a second opinion. I could be totally, and I think it's a very good level of awareness a person has to have, because you're not delusional. You're like, I might just be looking at myself with a skewed lens.
Right.
Let me ask some other people, or let me get, put this photo out there and see what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's I never get negative feedback about my appearance. In fact, growing up, everywhere my mom took me, people would be would stop us, and just to tell her how beautiful her daughter was, me. And then, but I never got it from men, hardly ever, like including my own father. And it's so
Stems back to the dad.
yeah, so it's like the only, like, I will never forget, like, the only day my dad has ever told me that I look beautiful was the day his mom died.
Really?
Yeah.
At the funeral or the day she died?
Like the day she died, like we're getting ready to go to the funeral.
Okay, so days after she died, just the day of the funeral.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean like the actual.
Like, that's odd that you were like,
not the actual day she died, just
All right,
like
gotcha.
the day of her funeral. Sorry, and I was like, this is so fucked up. Like, why is this the day?
That is a weird, but it probably brought him to a point where it does seem very weird and kind of deranged.
It's weird. And I was like, okay, so do I need to dress like this all the time in front of my father for him to say that? Like, what is it? Do I need to wear black all the time? Like,
no, it probably brought him to a point of realization, like, which is sad it didn't show up more after that moment. Like, you can have an epiphany and realize, like, oh man, I've been fucking up. Like, you look beautiful. Like, I need to tell you these things more. But it doesn't seem that was what happened. It just...
No. I have no idea what it was. And then everyone at the funeral was like, oh, you look just like your grandma. I'm like...
The one that just died?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I'm just like, okay, I strongly disagree, but I'm not going to say that, like, to all these people who think this. Yeah, I do not agree with that still. And it was just...
I've never seen that. Pictures of that grandma.
I don't know if I have any. I'll have to ask my dad. But, yeah, it was just weird. And it was like never again. Never before that, never after that. It was just that one particular day.
Wow. Not even on your wedding day, huh?
Nope. And I was wearing black.
Oh, my God. You're like, maybe Dad likes black.
That's not why I wear black on my wedding day.
No, the black wedding dress was very beautiful.
Thanks. But yeah, it was weird.
It's weird.
It's so weird. And it's just like, now it's like, oh, it doesn't bother me as much. But it's just like, I will always like have that issue, like in the back of my head, even though if I don't want it there.
The first few years of someone's life are so crucial, and it seems like, oh, they'll forget, they're just kids, but that's where all the foundation.
Yeah, that's where it matters.
Yeah, and you could do things later in life that you do some fuckery, but if you set the groundwork in the first 10 years, first 5 years, really, and that stability, it can be shook, but that stability will ground a person. I believe that it'll ground you.
Yeah. So like, I think it's important, like, we're having a girl, right? And like, I think it's important to tell your daughter, like, just for men to tell their daughters that their daughter is beautiful. And like, because like that can mean more than just the outside. Like, she can think that it means like she's a beautiful person, like if you say it that way.
Yeah. And I think communication with your child is really important. I didn't really have a...
It's so important, and it's like really important for daughters to hear those things from their dads. Like, dads matter more for daughters. Yeah.
I couldn't say that it matters more. My dad didn't communicate at all.
Yeah.
And so my stepdad.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my real dad. So like, I couldn't get that void filled by my stepdad because he didn't communicate.
Yeah.
So I couldn't come to him with things that only a boy would go through, or
that makes
girl
sense.
problems or anything.
So you felt like a little lost
I didn't even know. I still, to this day, don't know about his childhood. Like, I don't know him. So I know him in the 20 or almost 30 years I've been alive, you know, but that's a lifetime, but I don't know what the previous lifetime held.
Like, you don't know where he came from.
Nope.
Yeah, that's the
And his parents are, you know, they didn't allow us to get close either to them.
Yeah.
So we didn't get
that's
to
what
learn.
your mom was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that they hear those things and to have an open communication. Your kids should be one of your closest friends.
Yeah, I agree.
Granted, that's also a delusional statement a little bit, but if you can try and keep that mindset, because you still got to be a parent.
Right. No, I knew what you meant when you said that.
I've had friends, older dudes, you know, like OG friends that are like, hey, man, let me bring you under your wing a little bit. Let me like school you up. You're fucking up here, here, and here. And, you know,
Right.
talk to him like that.
Right.
And also have to carry authority, but try and talk to him like that before. And hopefully, if you can have rational conversations with your kids and stuff, you can try and keep a lot of stuff down.
Right. Like, that's all true. And then I think, like, what I was trying to say about, like, daughters and their dads, though, it's like, you are, like, her first love, right? And, like, one day she's gonna want to date men unless she's into other stuff. But, like, otherwise, we assume they're gonna be attracted to the opposite sex. And it's like the way you talk to her, the way you make her feel, the way you treat her is basically a model of the man that she's gonna want to look for.
Agreed.
When she's ready for that time. So that's why I say, like, it's so important for, like, dads to tell their daughters that they're beautiful, because then, like, if she's never heard it from a man before, she's gonna be, like, scooped up by the first man who says it.
I agree 100%.
So it's like, it has to be, like, something that's not scarce, is my point.
Yeah, it'll be... I don't think that's... I think that sentiment hasn't been said enough.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
I believe that very much.
Yeah.
Let's take the time. We obviously have finished the Lego. Me, I have finished it. You did touch. You put a couple on there. You can say you did it. What do you think?
No, it was mainly you that did it. I like it.
So check it out.
I slightly wish it was bigger. But
you do like the bigger scales.
I do like the bigger Legos.
But we do those for the channel. This is for the podcast. We can't see. We're at hour and 40 minutes. We're about to wrap this up soon. And this is, 300 pieces.
It's very cool, though. It has, like, the back. I always love a car's ass the most.
I know. You said that to that guy that we went to his house yesterday. He looked at you like, I love your car's ass. He was like, huh? Huh? Total stranger. Not, hey, I'm Alexa. Just, hey, dude, I like your car's ass. I was like, okay. Icebreaker. Done. This is a nice ass, though.
It is.
Take a look. Look at that ass. They nailed it. They nailed it. The front end looks good, too.
That guy totally did give me that look. He was like, I don't know how to respond.
A little minifigure. He's got his shades on.
Yeah, he looks happy.
It's got the bumblebee on it. That's dope.
He looks like he's cheesing.
Yeah, he's got a hairpiece, too.
Oh, wow.
He's got a nice head of hair. Look at that. That's like some Maverick level hair right there.
Right.
Dude's been working on it. Minifigure. This one with the other minifigures with the dragster. So
I feel like he needs to put his wrench in his car.
I don't think that's how toolboxes work.
What do you mean?
No, when you're racing, I guess. That's dangerous. You can't ride around with a wrench in the car.
It's just plastic.
What? I mean in real life.
I know.
Yeah, I know it's just plastic. I was being a dork.
You are being a dork.
In real life. It's just plastic.
I think you need the second one. I don't like it was just one.
It's a gear shifter.
Okay.
No, babe, no. Just one. You can hold it, though. I make her hold all my Legos. Hold it.
Yeah, he's weird.
No.
I have to like hold it like it's a little baby turtle
like
in my hand.
Yeah, and then I'd say quickly.
Cute little turtle.
Thanks.
Oh my god.
All right, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the Lego Chronicles podcast. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you're catching this on YouTube. If you are catching this as a audio only feed, go to my Brick Fever Lego channel on YouTube and you will find the video format of this and you can watch us build this live. And most guests are a little more interactive, but she's interactive with the stories, and I love it. Best conversations come from when I do them with you. So,
Thanks.
till next time, we're out.
Bye.